right, guys, I'm going to help you get started with this application problem, and then you're going to answer the questions A through H on Canvas, and there's a practice quiz on there. I would suggest doing all your work on your paper first and then going and answering the questions. That would be the easiest, probably. So, the Apollo's Chariot. It's a roller coaster at Busch Gardens. It moves at 110 feet per second. The equation of the ride can be represented by the equation h equals negative 16t squared plus 101t plus 10. So I'm going to help you with these first four problems, and that should help you be able to answer the rest of the information. So we're going to sketch a graph. So our x and y axis are the boundaries of the real world. Our c value there is 10. That means we're starting off the ground. The roller coaster will go up, and then it's going to come down, and this is ground level. So our three important points are our y-intercept, our vertex, and our x-intercept. You already know the y-intercept. It's labeled as your c value in your standard form equation. So it's 10 feet, and because it's the y-axis, it's 0, 10 is the name of the point. Okay. So to find our vertex, remember we got to start that x equals negative b divided by 2a. So let's see here. Our b value is 101. It's a positive 101, so we're going to write this as a negative 101 divided by 2 times a, which is negative 16. So I get negative 101 divided by negative 32, and I end up with, I'm going to round to just one decimal place, 3.2. That means the x value of my vertex is 3.2. We want to find the y value, so we're going to take this x value and plug it into the original equation. So to find the y value, which is the height, you have negative 16, 3.2 squared plus 101 times 3.2 plus 10, and I got 169.4. So that's the y value of the vertex, 169.4. And let me caution you here, guys. Make sure that when you put these numbers in the equation in your calculator, you're getting these same two numbers. Don't just accept that those are the correct numbers because I did them. Make sure you can get the same numbers, because all of this is lost if you cannot put it into the calculator. Remember, you can download the calculator app or use Desmos. All right. The last thing that we're going to work together, and all the rest you're going to do on your own, is the positive x-intercept. So to find an x-intercept, you need the quadratic formula. That's what tells you that point. So we have negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, and this whole thing is going to be divided by 2a. I'm going to break it down just a little bit. Negative 101 plus or minus the square root. When I put just the underneath portion into my calculator, make sure you get the same number. You need to try this. 108.41. It's going to be divided by negative 32. So now we can do this. I tend to do this in two separate little sections. And let me show you what I get. So I will go negative 101. I always do the minus first. The square root of 108.41. And I hit enter. That's the top number. Is then divided by negative 32. And I get 6.4. And so that point would be 6.40. And for the other one, I say negative 101 minus the square root of 108.41. Enter, divide that number by negative 32. Oh, sorry, we're supposed to do plus there. So I'm going to just take this, and I'm going to say plus. Divide that by negative 32, and I get negative 0.1. 0. So only one of those exists in the real world when we look at our graph. One's over here in the negative world. That is this guy, so we're going to ignore him. This is the one we want, 6.40. All right, so that should give you your 3 important points and help you with the rest of the problems. Email me if you have any problems.